Okay, let's talk about what just happened in Ceuta. So, imagine this, a tiny Spanish enclave the size of a small city suddenly gets flooded by 60,000 migrants in a single week. That's like the entire population of Monaco doubling overnight. Spain scrambles, Morocco stays quiet, and then, everyone just goes back. On the surface, this seems like another chaotic border crisis. But wait, dig a little deeper, and this isn't just about immigration. This is about geopolitics, systemic failure, and the absurdity of 21st-century border control. Let me break it down. First off, Ceuta's location is everything. It's Spain's front row seat to Africa, a literal stone's throw from Morocco. For decades, it's been a pressure valve for migration flows, until now. Why did 60,000 people surge there at once? In my opinion, this wasn't random. It smells like a calculated test. A test of Spain's resolve, of Europe's unity, maybe even a proxy game between Morocco and Madrid. And here's the kicker, Morocco didn't even have to lift a finger. By letting the situation escalate, and then letting Spain regain control, they exposed how fragile these borders really are. But let's not pretend this is just about Spain. What many people don't realize is that Ceuta is a microcosm of a global crisis. When I see 60,000 people overwhelming a territory in days, I think, this is climate change, poverty, and war all colliding. These migrants aren't just economic opportunists, they are fleeing collapsing systems. And Europe's response? A band-aid on a bullet wound. Building higher fences while the planet burns. That's the bigger story here. This isn't Ceuta's problem. It's ours. Now, let's dissect Spain's move. They flew in extra police, processed thousands overnight, and sent most back to Morocco. But what happens next? If you take a step back and think about it, this isn't a solution, it's a delay. The same people will try again next week. Why? Because the root causes, political instability in places like Sudan, economic despair across West Africa, aren't going anywhere. And here's the hypocrisy, when European countries fund Moroccan border patrols to stop migrants, but then vilify Morocco for weaponizing migration, they are playing a game with no winners. Ceuta proves that borders aren't barriers, they are pressure cookers. A detail I find fascinating is how quickly this faded from headlines. 60,000 people. That's a small country's population displaced in a week. But we're obsessed with the spectacle of chaos, not the slow-motion disasters behind it. This raises a deeper question, why do we only care when crises hit wealthy nations? If Ceuta were a village in Chad, would anyone notice? Probably not. That's the uncomfortable truth. Our empathy is still tied to proximity to power. So where does this leave us? Spain saved face temporarily. Morocco kept its hands clean. Migrants got a free trip back to square one. But the real story is the one we're not telling, the quiet collapse of a system that thinks walls can fix human suffering. Until we address the why behind these surges, climate disasters, failed states, inequality, we'll just keep replaying Ceuta 2.0, 3.0, 4.0. What do you think? Is Ceuta a warning, or just the first tremor of a much bigger quake? Let me know in the comments.